Let's start with the guys that didn't get out of the first round, which stunned me because they had a pretty good season. Let's talk about the St. Louis Cardinals. Surprise decisions on their players. They said goodbye to Albert Pujols this week. He officially filed his retirement papers, John. 22-year career. Amazing. This guy, we always talk about number one draft picks, big money. This guy was a 12th round draft pick, like 252nd player taken out of a community college in Missouri. And look what Albert Pujols became. 294 lifetime career, 703 home runs, bulk of his career with the Cardinals, then a decade with the Angels, a cup of coffee with the Dodgers, and he went back to St. Louis. And at age 42, he hit 270 with 24 bombs as he vaulted over the 700 career mark and went past Alex Rodriguez. Amazing individual considering where he was drafted. And I will tell you, tremendous human being. What he and his family have done for foundations in St. Louis during a decade run with the Cardinals, and then what he duplicated and what he did in Anaheim, even though that was not his team, what he did in Southern California. He is one special individual.
Yeah, I agree completely. And to your point, he wasn't a heralded high draft pick, and he kind of took a funny route going through a community college in Missouri, even though he's from the Dominican, so it's kind of an interesting path. But I remember when he first came up, he was just out of nowhere. Like, who is this guy? He was hitting 300. He was hitting for power. And I think back then he was playing third base for the Cardinals. But what a career, a man, great respect. And you said he hit 24 bombs as a 42-year-old, but is he really 42? You know, that's always been the controversy. But still, let's just pretend for a moment he's 46. Well, hell, if you can hit 24 bombs when you're 46, tip of the hat to you.
Tremendous career, tremendous person. Cardinals also saying goodbye to a bellwether of their roster. You think about how many years Yadier Molina caught behind home plate, and the wear and tear factor on catches is unbelievable, and yet he continued to hit, and he continued to throw guys out, and he continued to pound on the bases. He is just retired. Special guy. Now, his battery mate, and this is strange, Adam Wainwright is not retiring. He has just signed a one-year extension to come back and pitch next year for the Cardinals at age, I want to say 38 or 39. It'll be his 18th year in St. Louis. He's the one that calls, would you call it the lollipop curve?
Yeah.
I mean, he just... What an amazing pitcher. He's going to come back and he's pitched. He had a pretty good year last year. And this guy has recovered from elbow surgery at a much older age than most guys. So he stays the course. And one other baseball note in St. Louis. Major League Baseball, John, it's always about money, my contract, my free agency, my opt-out clause, my no-trade clause. Nolan Arenado just opted in to stay in St. Louis. He's not opting out to put himself back on the market as a big home run hitter and a 10-time Gold Glove winner. Arenado is going to stay next 5 years on the contract. He had one chance to step away or opt back in. He's opted in. 5 years, $144 million, I think, is left because St. Louis is such a great city, and I think he has great respect for what the Cardinal organization is historically. So you got Yadier to talk about. You got, obviously, lollipop curves and Wainwright, and then your comment on what Arenado did, because that's really different.
Yeah, I think if you're Wainwright and they're willing to pay you big money to come back for another year and you only pitch every 5 days, why not? I mean, this is the game you love, and if you can, make some bank, good for you. As far as Molina goes, I remember when he came up, he's one of three brothers, right? Mm-hmm. And the other two brothers were no slouches. They were pretty good too. And Molina developed into becoming a better hitter as his career went on. But another really special guy. But Arenado, we kind of have this grudge match with him here in San Diego because we're fans of Machado, and Machado doesn't get the Gold Glove and everything else. But usually these guys, what they'll do is they will opt out, even though they know they're going to renegotiate with their existing team and just sort of kind of re-up their contract. So I'm surprised Arenado didn't do that, but maybe the St. Louis ownership maybe promised him something down the road that we're unaware of.
Might be, but, he also went through a really bad experience in Colorado, and he was a really great player with the Rockies and did well. bat and glove, but he stood by and he watched the Rockies trade everybody away. And then he got traded. The only guy left in Colorado, aside from the manager, Bud Black, who's had to live with this crisis, is Charlie Blackmon. Everybody else is gone from what was a pretty good Rockies franchise. So I think Arenado has learned about the business side of baseball, and he's in St. Louis, which it is a great baseball city.
100%.
That yard is downtown, and right next to that stadium is the Cardinal Hall of Fame and a St. Louis Browns Hall of Fame. It's really cool.